When'd you grow a mustache?
Looks like a French guy.
It says we're live on the YouTubes.
Pew pew.
Let's see. Oh, no, it's refreshing and saying, no, what the hell? This thing is stupid. I have no idea if we're live on YouTube or not because I'm just going to refresh. Hey, look, there's Squibby on YouTube. So, yeah, we must be live.
I seen a notification pop up, so probably.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Cleveland just scored again. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. Anyway, welcome to This Week Unloaded. I know you want to break.
Rich,
rub it in, Jason.
TV must be faster than mine. They're at the 10-yard line on my TV.
Oh.
Thanks for spoiling it. Appreciate that.
You're quite welcome. Anyway, we have with us tonight Rob Dean, a New York Outcast. How are you tonight, Rob?
Doing well. A little better, I think, than normal, so I'm happy.
All right. Next, we have Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
Good evening, Rich. Thanks for the invite.
Yep, no problem. And so far, rounding up the guest list, we have Squibload. How are you tonight, Squibby?
Hey, doing pretty good.
Alrighty. So I'm assuming you all have heard about what's going on with Parler being dropped from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.
Yeah.
And it came out, when was it? Yesterday, late yesterday, where they're being dropped from Amazon's server list as well, which means they're going to be homeless for a little while.
I was lucky. I downloaded the Parler app, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and I haven't used it yet. It was giving me fits about choosing a password, and I kind of gave up on it. But since I already got it downloaded, it should still work, right?
Yeah, as long as it's on Android. And Apple, they may figure out, because Apple's good for doing this, where you have an app on your phone, they decide they don't want to carry it anymore, they'll put out an update just to kill an app. So you got to be careful with Apple. But as far as Android's concerned, yeah, you'll still be good with that on your Android phone.
Maybe dropping down in the next day or two, though, for that server swap out. So from what I heard, they were actually swapping servers out to become independent. Obviously, maybe they had no choice, but still. Yeah, so people are aware they should be back up and in business here shortly. So
yeah, the CEO of Parler said that has come out and said on Parler, on his personal Parler account, that they've been kicked off by Amazon. Amazon is pulling the plug on their server access for the same reasons that Google and Apple are saying that they can't have their app on their stores because they're not moderated enough. In other words, they're not doing what they tell them to do.
Well, is there like a few bad apples out there on Parler that's kind of starting to give them a bad name, though, or something?
Well, no, it's nothing to do with that. They won't take action against Trump's one of the things. They're wanting them to ban Trump like Twitter did, like Facebook did, and they won't do it, and they won't ban other people that they're telling them they have to ban because their buddies on Twitter ban people. So it's basically they're telling them, do what we say or we're going to pull the plug on you. And that's what's
they're
happening.
on the wrong side of the war.
Well, that sounds like a monopoly and racketeering to me.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. And Jack Dorsey put out a tweet, in case you don't know who that is, that's the guy that owns Twitter. He put out a tweet mocking Parler for being taken off of Amazon's server farm. And then he since has deleted it, but it's too late. I mean, you think a guy that runs an internet company would know once you put something out there, it's out there.
That dude's a weird dude, man. I don't like him at all. Don't trust him at all. But he's just a weird looking dude, man.
Yeah. He can't make up his mind whether he's a hippie or Grizzly Adams. If you look at him, he's goofy. Let's see
Is
who we
he a
got.
real technical, technical genius, or is he just like a guy who had the idea for this
He's the one that
app?
created Twitter, so I believe he is legitimately the one that created the Twitter verse, I guess you could say. So, yeah. I mean, he's not dumb. He's just stupid.
Well, nothing lasts forever, you know. So these big tech guys, they'll get their day someday.
Mm-hmm. Let's see who we got there in the YouTube chat so far. We have Gun-Toting Pacifist, DTemp62, Buck, and Kingpin. 3 of those guys all have links.
Evening, fellas.
Yeah, I'm not saying they got to use them, but 3 of them guys got links. So what do you think? How long do you think it's going to take Parler to get back up and running?
Oh, I think they'll be okay, man.
Oh, yeah,
They'll
I know.
find alternatives. They're
Yeah.
they're popular enough already that they'll find alternatives.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not going to find an alternative. I'm just asking how long do you think it's going to be before they are back up?
Couldn't they
I think a
actually run
number
it?
of days, if that, I'd say maybe 12 hours, maybe 48 at most. I would think so. I
Oh,
wouldn't see any reason why they wouldn't have financial backing with such a move right now to where they would be held up, other than making sure everything is up and running so they don't start up and then have a crash or something. So I would assume shouldn't take too long, but that's just my best guess.
yeah. Yeah, I saw one report where people are speculating possibly by noon tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be that quick, but depends on how much work I guess they got done already on their switching over. How good backups they have and everything, how they get, and how good connections they have to the servers and all that stuff. If it wouldn't be outside their own possibility, I just don't think they're going to do it that fast. Yeah,
Well,
D10
I've
saying that
just been
Parler.
corrected.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just got kind of yelled at and corrected, stating I think that would normally be the case, but right now, since everybody's against them and things are difficult, it may take a little longer for them to get everything they need.
Yeah.
So
D10,
my apologies, but again, that's just my opinions.
Yeah, D-Temp out there says that Parler themselves is saying a week. So, yeah, we shall see. It's definitely 2021 is definitely off to an interesting start. Let's just say that. Picking
Yeah,
right up
in a
where
week, I think we'll be
2021.
worried about bigger things in Parler.
Well, no, that's a big thing too. I mean, if you look at what's going on, you got 3 of the largest tech companies in the country, if not the world, actually, and all 3 are saying no, you can't have your platform which allows free speech. That's big.
Yeah, but the reasoning behind that is bigger.
Well, it's all part of the same problem.
Yeah, but those big 3 are essentially one entity. They are conspiring together and thriving together. So, it's not like the 3 independent companies all made this choice. They all packed together. They've been joined together ever since Hillary was crying in Brooklyn, and they have done everything they can to work against Trump. So, It's it's completely obvious. You know what I mean? It's a conspiracy against him and us.
God damn it. Guess what happened again, Jason?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh my God. This is gonna be one of those nights. Yeah. Anyway, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, both of us have the Steeler Cleveland Browns game on in the background, and Jason's a Browns fan. I'm rooting for the other team that's getting their asses kicked right now. So yeah, so if you hear little mentions of things like that, that's why.
I'm rooting for the sprinkler system to kick on and ruin the game.
I will tell them the truth, Rich. It's 28-0 in the first quarter, and the Steelers are losing.
Yeah, like I said, they're getting their asses kicked. I thought I made that clear when I just said that. I mean, that should have been clear enough. And every Cleveland point has come off a turnover. Every single damn one.
Tell you, man, this is rigged. It's a distraction, man. It's part of the conspiracy. Sports ball to distract us from what's really going on.
Uh-huh.
Commie ball.
Yeah, we got Stan out there now too. SS Pawn out there. So evening Stan. Pacifist out there saying that what a start for the Browns. Yeah, he's just irritated though because his Patriots did absolutely nothing this year. And D-Temp says, go Browns from a Chiefs fan. Yeah, that's only because he's scared. The Chiefs are scared. If the Steelers actually get back to where they were, that the Chiefs are going to be in trouble. That's all that is. But, yeah. So anybody else, what else we got to talk about?
Yeah, I went and withdrew a bunch of money today from accounts that are in a bank, things like that. Noticed quite a long line at the banks today. Just figured just in case, but might be something people want to think about. Filled up the gas in the vehicles, things like that. So top everything off, just in case, because I don't know. Yeah, if some of these rumors are true and the Insurrection Act has been pulled, the media is a pretty bad tool, which is controlled by, not our side. So at any given time, who knows what they might put out there and try to hammer on people, and next thing you know, we could have some serious issues on hand, neighbor to neighbor. So,
what exactly is the Insurrection Act?
Well, I'm not an attorney. To my knowledge, it's pulled so basically. Oh, I'm not great to explain it. Basically pulled so the president has his own, I guess, police army force to investigate things through a military court, to my layman's term of it. So if the local police won't back anything up or do their job, other people will come in and do so, almost like the civil rights thing back in Texas, I think A&E, I think it was, or something like that. Where the governor there called out their local National Guard to stop the black kids from coming into the college. And the president at the time, Eisenhower, pulled the Insurrection Act and called actual troops out to oversee those National Guard troops, which they did.
That was Arkansas, and it was a high school. But you were close.
Okay, whatever it is. So yeah. Like I said, I'm not a historian. So basically, in a sense, they would be working for, you could say, Trump or the right side of the government, not right or left, but the legitimate constitutional side of the government. And if that's the case, and the media ends up pulling against everybody, telling everybody it's open season on Trumpers, who the hell knows? Because they'll obviously say Trump went completely rogue and is trying to be a dictator and take everything over and create an issue, and it's going to pin people on people. So, granted, I don't know this is going to happen or anything like that. It's just a scenario that could happen, considering the media is a very powerful tool, which has brainwashed half the public up to this day. So, I'm not taking anything for granted. That's all I'm saying. Now, again, I have no idea, but, it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, basically, the Insurrection Act is another legal means that the president has for dealing with rioters and invasions and shit like that.
Well, in his presidential order that he made 2 years ago, it says he could do this if there was foreign interference in our election.
I'm assuming everybody's heard the rumors that special forces or, an alphabet group infiltrated the Capitol and took multiple, laptops, not just Pelosi's. I don't know if, I assume everybody's aware of that at this point too. So basically, I think a bit more is going on than, then they're going to tell us. Let's put it that way. And it seems like Trump's having a hell of a time just being able to get a voice right now.
Well, if he did make any moves, they can't completely shut that news out. We'll find out.
Yeah. Like I said, at this point, it's still unconfirmed speculation coming from many places. But again, the news is a powerful tool. That's kind of a scary thing to have weighing over us at this point.
Yeah, and those reports.
But you got my hopes up, Rob. I want to see Nancy Pelosi in handcuffs, man.
Yeah, those reports have been all over Parler, so there's another reason for them to want to shut down Parler.
All right, well.
There's also a rumor that she was picked up trying to leave the country and escorted to a military base. But again, this is all speculation and rumor, so don't know.
Parler CEO says service drop by every vendor could end company. That's what a reporter is. Tyler Zed posted a tweet from a reporter who has a quote from Parler CEO saying that. So.
And is Kingpin out there? You said he was, right?
Yeah, he was.
There's reports that everybody knows the 90-day deal around the Capitol now that was put in place, the 7th, I think. Everybody's aware of that. They called in troops to, put fences up, things like that. Well, apparently now, from what they're saying, more troops have been called in to surround those troops, an outer ring. And people are stating that they have to be pulled in. Everybody has to come in tomorrow to place a vote. So there's a lot of wondering, are the rumors true about these, I don't know what it was, 2,000, 20,000 indictments and this and that? Are people going to start getting arrested tomorrow? I don't know, man. So I'm saying I'm a little chippier than normal because there's just so much stuff. Man, if any of this is true, something had to take place. Something's got to be in the works. So hopefully I'm not jumping the gun. I don't want to celebrate too early, but I think we're taking a step in the right direction.
That all sounds really flimsy.
Yeah, it may be, but I don't know. Like I said, it's, I'd rather, and we'll find out. That's just it. We're going to find out one way or the other. So time will tell.
Yeah,
if this ain't true, Rob, I want Google and Twitter to block you for starting.
Like I said, I can't confirm anything or nothing. I'm just saying. there's just, so much of it right now coming from different, it's hard to believe it's all bullshit. So, I mean, you could say the same thing about the election fraud. There's so much of it. It's hard to believe it's all bullshit. So, yeah, it's everybody's got the right to believe what you want, man. To me, things kind of add up. So, I'm hoping again, and honestly, I don't have faith in our government, but I do have faith in America. So, if that means anything.
Yeah, and this might not come as a surprise to very many people, but speaking of Kingpin, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has said that he doesn't understand why Trump didn't call out the Maryland National Guard to deal with rioters. Maybe because it wasn't happening in Maryland? Just saying.
Well, if Kingpin's in that area, I mean, it would be great to know firsthand if that is true. Not telling him to, hop in the car and take a drive, but if he can figure that out, please let us know.
Well, Kingpin was there, man. He had everything under control. Don't need no National Guard from Maryland. Kingpin's on the scene, man.
This is getting ridiculous. And by the way, that was on Parler. I'm sitting here looking at Parler right now as we're talking, so seeing what anything else that new that popped up. But yeah, that popped up. Billy Caller put out what the hell do they call it on Parler when you put? Is it a parlay? I mean, well, what do you call a post on Parler?
I don't know. It would take me so long to figure out how to figure all that out. I don't even bother. So
yeah, but apparently Hogan said that to Jake Tapper on CNN.
Oh, good old Jake Tapper. The most trusted name in news right there.
Yep, absolutely, man. If you can't trust Jake Tapper, who can you trust? Oh, my Lord in heaven. Yeah. And the same story, he says that the National Guard isn't the first line of defense because they don't have any police training. So, according to Hogan, Trump was wrong for not calling out the National Guard from Maryland, but he would have been wrong if he called out the National Guard because the National Guard don't have police training. Which is it, asshole? Good Lord. These people. Can you make any sense of that?
well, another thing might be a point to look at is I'm sure people are aware that Apple shut down the emergency broadband or CAS system, supposedly to work on it or things like this as well. But word's been getting around that Trump is planning on releasing information through that system. So that came out before Apple came out saying all of a sudden they need to work on their system and they're going to shut it down. So, there's a lot of things that all kind of hash together here, my opinion. So,
just like the voting machines needed updated when they were counting.
So people are saying don't let your phone update because if you update, they're going to shut down the emergency broadcast system aspect of it temporarily until whatever happens.
Wouldn't that be some type of crime to disrupt the emergency broadcast system?
You would think.
You think they care? I mean, if that's true, the level they're at, you think they care?
Oh no, but it should be a crime. You'd think, that's a pretty important deal right there. That I would figure that emergency system would have some type of protection against it. It'd have to be protected to not be abused also, you know what I mean? But there should be protection that if they decide to use it, it's broadcast coast to coast.
Yeah, there should be. We should have an honorable and trusted system, that wouldn't be an issue. But doesn't appear that that's the case.
Yeah. Heaven forbid we get a snowstorm or something. Jesus Christ, how are they going to report it? Then their broadcast system's down.
Yeah, or tornadoes,
Tornadoes,
earthquake.
You're not going to have a hurricane. It's not hurricane season, but anything's possible, I guess.
Asteroid could hit. Aliens could come.
Totally, completely ridiculous overreactions.
So yeah, I even had the lady pick up a 12-pack Coronas for me tonight because I'm gonna enjoy this moment. I'm gonna ride this high.
Uh-oh, you're going to get the virus.
Self-inflicted corona.
Uh-huh. He's got the Rona, folks.
Gotta find a hat with some lights on it. No, I'll be Roro tonight.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. There's only one roll call. We don't need a second.
I'm Black Ro.
Yeah, but you're not going to the dentist. You're not going to the dentist and documenting them pulling your teeth on Instagram and Facebook and wherever the hell else he put it.
Him and his tooth?
No,
Yeah, him and his tooth.
That's funny.
so nobody else out there is hearing any of this stuff.
Oh man, I just
Everybody
got
watching
home a little while
football.
ago.
Outcast, everything that you've been talking about, it doesn't make a lick of sense to me. It's like you're talking in another language. I have absolutely no idea what you are talking about.
Okay. Did you hear about the Pakistan? You heard about the Pakistan thing, right?
The training.
The blackout.
Oh.
Conveniently, the same time one of the biggest deals was going to take place from a Chinese buyer of American companies.
Nope.
All right. I don't want to pour too much in here. I'll just back off.
So, sounds like Rob's been watching too much the Honda's channel.
That's what it's kind of sounding like. I don't
no.
understand that stuff either.
I'm not part of the club over there anymore.
I said you were watching, not on it.
They kicked my straight frog ass out.
How dare you voice your opinion, Rob? God damn.
He was hanging with us sane people over here too much.
You just didn't want to bow down to Yankee, that's all. They had to get rid of you.
I don't know. I can't speak for reasons for other people in that sense. So don't know, but
Now, got a comment says 300 blackout is the best caliber during government blackouts. Thoughts on that concept?
You mean 300 Whisper?
Same thing.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Everybody's got.
Yeah. If it comes to that, may Lord help us all. So who knows?
Gun-toting pacifists is saying that the Vatican had a blackout.
I
Yeah.
prefer 5.56. That way, after I kill you, I can take your extra ammo.
They had a blackout because supposedly there's a raid and the Pope's been arrested. But again, that's not out yet. So
What? You can't arrest the
I'll
Pope.
step back. I'll step back. My
Yeah, they could. Interpol could go in and arrest the Pope because they're part of all that horse shit.
Vatican's got their own army.
Well, they got the Swiss Guard. They don't have an
How
army.
you getting in the door?
They have a mercenary force, but again, Switzerland's involved in all that Interpol shit too. So,
Well, what did the Pope do that was illegal?
you didn't hear?
supposedly child trafficking, something like 80 counts or something like that. From what they say.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
God!
but I truly think it has to do with the satellite, with the Italy thing. How they, supposedly pulled evidence that they've been changing data in real time, and it was through some deal with the Italian ambassador, which links back to the satellites that are controlled by the fourth largest security company in the world, which is linked right back to the Pope.
Wait a minute. A Catholic priest in some sort of crime against children? No, that's completely unbelievable.
That's fake news.
It's an easy charge to get in the door.
Yeah.
Crime against one child? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Crime against thousands, millions? Oh, I believe that.
And like Rob was saying, they got some high up guy over there in Italy that is in custody right now, who admitted that Italy was at least this one company possibly was interfering in the election here. And yeah, so there's that.
Well, haven't they already disclosed that Dominion voting machines, the data was sent and counted in like France and Germany?
Yeah.
So that's a foreign country interfering with our election right there. That gives Trump the right to enact that presidential order he made.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, there's a lot of shit going on, guys. I think it's hopeful.
Yeah, and this thing with this guy over there in Italy ain't just some conspiracy thing. It's being widely reported if you know where to look. It's been reported on in Italian media and other places. And Trump put out something. I don't know what platform he was on, but Trump actually managed to get something out about that. I don't know if he used somebody else's, had somebody else tweet it out for him or what it was, but there was a thing where Trump was saying that the guy was in custody.
Yeah, it was tweeted out for Trump or somebody else. I can't remember or the platform now. Because, as you can tell, I've been buried in this.
That might have been, you know what? That might have been a Parler now that I think about it. Because Trump's Parler account's still up and running. Until midnight anyway.
Last I checked, he still had a YouTube channel.
Which is amazing in and of itself.
He at least did today. Yeah, I'm subscribed to that YouTube channel. He's put out all the information state by state and all the irregularities and everything. He's broadcasted that a ton on YouTube, but the mainstream media won't pick none of it up.
Yeah.
Right now, we are the news, in my opinion. You're not going to get anything legitimate from, TV sources. I'll put it that way. In my opinion, this is a straight up war right now between two factions of the government, and the one that controls the media ain't on our side.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear that the Pope and Hunter Biden were caught naked smoking crack with a underage child? Heard that on Parler.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, I just turned it over again.
Thanks, Rich. Remember, you're like 30 seconds ahead of me. Here, I'll watch it and tell you how good it happened. Here it comes. They're about ready to do it.
Uh-huh. Ghost out there says she's trying to organize a coup. I'm assuming he's talking about Pelosi, but yeah, she's trying to organize a coup with only 10 days left. It's like, hey, Pelosi, can you just bide your time? I mean, seriously. Got 10 days, bitch. Just wait.
I think she's trying to do it because she knows what's coming.
She's trying to do it because she's a lunatic.
Well, man, I just see in my mind ever since the beginning, the fake impeachment should have been considered a coup attempt. Nancy, Adam Schiff, especially Jerry Nadler, all of them sat up there and lied to us, the citizens, lied to this country about the whole situation, done things in secret, in back rooms, out of, ordinary procedures, and just flat out lied to us through the whole event. They should be charged with something right there. That is an attempt to dethrone our president.
Yeah, well, remember, they've been saying that they were going to impeach him since the day after he got elected. In some cases, before the election even happened.
They're trying to impeach him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they came out with this hard push right after the incident on the 6th, which again relates to why. If he supposedly gave a concession speech and is on his way out, why? Because something else happened, people. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
At that gathering in Washington, did Trump go up there on stage and tell everybody to storm the Capitol?
No. No.
Okay, then.
But he didn't react quick enough. Come on.
And, the words he had to use to tell people to back off kind of lets him open up the Insurrection Act if you look into it.
Oh, yeah, remember? He told
a process that has to be followed. We have to be under an emergency for so long and all this stuff for that even to be opened up to be a legal possibility. And so, again, kind of strange.
Well, if you want to charge him with anything on that, he came out and told everybody to calm down, told everybody to leave the Capitol, told everybody to be peaceful. But what did they do to that message that he told us? They took it down. They erased it. They blocked him. So if you want to say anybody is complacent and anything going bad, it's them.
Definitely. Plus, if people look into what he actually said, and from what I hear from the Insurrection Act, they realize apparently it's pretty much verbatim of what has to be put out for him to legally call the Insurrection Act. He has to try to put the people at peace. So, I mean, it's legal mumbo jumbo and stuff. Yeah. I know. There's people out there. I can't see the chat. I'm probably the crazy guy. I got my tinfoil hat on. Maybe not. Time will tell.
No.
Better make sure your door's locked, Rob, or at least keep your eye on it. Don't turn your back on the front door.
Hide the dog.
Yeah, both my cats will end up shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the lizard.
Yep.
That's all right. It's one of them days. Had it out with more personal family members about being a freaking brainwashed lunatic for even going to DC and blah 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 blah. So it's one of them days. Gonna drink a beer and say fuck it. Oops. Sorry, Rich.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just trying to find something. Which one of these sources do I trust the most? Yeah, if anybody should be trusting any of these news sources.
I tried to watch that NTD, but they've sourced the Epic Times twice when I've watched them, and I go, okay, well, this is not legitimate.
Yeah. I haven't checked on them in a little while. I got it from somewhere. Maybe Kingpin or somebody was saying something a while ago. So, yeah, I don't think you can really trust anything 100%. But,
Well, to me, the Epic Times is a tabloid. So if you're going to source them in the name of journalistic integrity as the real, media, as the truthful media, I would use something other than Epic Times. But Epic Times also advertises with them, so maybe they're just supporting their sponsor. Like some of these shill YouTube channels.
I guess that's a possibility. I know the lady's been listening to some Asian guy lately. Can't think of his name now. I seen him in DC, as a matter of fact. He was wearing a gray pea coat. Maybe then somebody else might have seen them. They seem to be pretty legit, at least on the rally. From what I've seen, what they're saying matches what I've seen, which is totally different than the news or TV. So, and they look like they got a pretty professional act together. I'll try to figure out what it is. Maybe give them a look. I haven't actually checked them out, but again, yeah, you can only put so much in somebody else's opinion, no matter what it is. So, and that's one of the things that bugs me about things kind of on both sides in some cases. With 99% of this stuff, we personally only know what we're being told. So, but yet we'll argue and fight and hate each other because we both saw a different news story that contradicts things. There's a possibility we're all wrong. I'll even state that about myself. So, yeah, we shouldn't be out here wanting to kill each other because of it.
I just got a notification on YouTube. Douglas Ducote's show says that the articles of impeachment have been drawn against Trump, and it will start tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to get that through the Senate before he leaves office. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous over waste of taxpayer money, just like the last time they tried impeaching him.
Yeah, it tastes good tonight. Woo-hoo. So nobody else got anything? Any news on the aliens?
They've been coming and going for thousands of years, Rob.
All right.
Yeah. What about your Bigfoot? Any more Bigfoot sightings?
No, I think there might have been one at the rally, but
He better hide out, man. I hear Rick Mitchell's
oh, he's a
looking for him.
true patriot. Yeah, nobody gave him any shit there.
It looks like we've been joined by Pat Hirsch late, but at least you made it. How you tonight, Pat?
Oh, not too bad. Was just doing a little bit of handgun instruction for my mom and dad tonight. They bought their first pistols tonight, so had to go over and check them out and kind of give them a little instruction.
Well, that's pretty cool. Did they buy ammo?
Yes, they did.
Excellent.
What inspired their purchase, Pat?
Probably the current climate and me and my brother and my sister and most of the extended family.
So a whole bunch of peer pressure? Or did they see the reasoning for it themselves as well?
Yeah, definitely. Just with the current political climate and all the stuff that's flying around, after they saw me, now that I am a proud owner of a AR-15 as of 2 days ago. So,
Pat, are you buying ice cream right now?
That's what I was wondering.
oh no, that was my kid. She's got one of those little dance pads, and she was boogieing around on it.
Sounded like a damn ice cream truck.
Yeah, it kind of has ice cream truck music, but yeah, she's still up. So that's probably
All right,
what you
I mean, don't get between Rob and ice cream. It'll get ugly.
But yeah, I mean, just everything that's going on. They just kind of saw the writing on the wall and just wanted to get something, a good somethings before anything happened. So
It's good. I'm sure in a way that probably even makes you feel better. Yeah, somebody sneaking around at night over at their place, at least they got a decent chance there to light a fire in their ass.
yeah, definitely. I mean, my dad had a little Heritage Rough Rider 22 that, he used to dispatch, raccoons and possums and stuff like that when he used to trap all the time. But, he just wanted something with a little bit more firepower. And, hopefully they're going to go out and go get their concealed carry licenses as long as democracy holds up. And they're already scheduled in, but I guess we'll see what happens with the current climate and everything.
What calibers do they choose and their age, if you don't mind, or about, not precise age, for obvious reasons, but, rough age and what caliber, if you don't mind.
Yeah, not a problem. Mom has got a CZ. I can't remember the actual model number of it, but it is a 32, in which she's kind of got arthritis. So the 32 would be a lot easier on her. And my dad picked up a SIG 220 9mm for himself. So. Yeah, and Dad's 66 now, and Mom is 63.
Okay.
Oh, geez, your parents are
That
young.
makes sense.
The 32 is probably a Milsurp CZ.
I'm guessing you would probably know better than me, Squib. It was a full metal frame with the polymer grips, green OD receiver.
Oh, okay. No, that probably would not be military surplus. Okay.
It looks brand new.
It's a 32 automatic, huh?
Yeah, it's a Browning 32 auto.
Huh. Okay.
It's a nice little gun. I mean, it's
If it's a CZ, it's going to be good.
right, right. So, and they picked everything up with ammo. What they say, $930 for both guns and some ammo, about 150 rounds for both.
Yeah, it's a
So
cheap investment when you consider your safety.
exactly. So that's kind of what I figured. I got pretty lucky. I found a little. It's not. I wouldn't call it a hole in the wall, but they outfit some of the police departments and stuff around here. I won't give out their name because I didn't ask, but found a Smith and Wesson M&P 15 for about 800 and what was it? 820, and got about 120 rounds on top of that with the extra mag thrown in.
Not too bad to my knowledge. I mean, it seems like it'd probably be $100 high depending how much ammo was thrown in, but I believe those are normally around 600 or something. But you gotta expect everything to be jacked a little bit. But ammo and an extra mag, you know, that all adds up. And ammo today, I mean,
right.
Yeah, it's,
well,
could be a huge amount of money to where normally it wouldn't be seen that way. But
right, yeah, and I figured, and I probably should have done it a year ago when I had the money, but I decided to use the money on something else. But I had enough money saved up again, but I was like, well, it's kind of a now or never kind of situation. But they did have, they do very well for themselves. They had all the ammo in stock for everything, guns. I mean, they had everything. So, and I was really surprised being in Nebraska, you know, being kind of an independent, not a big, you know, like a Shields or something like that, or a Cabela's, but they had just about anything and everything that you wanted when you walked in there. And it was a super nice place too. So I couldn't complain. So, because I looked at price points straight from Smith and Wesson on their site versus what they were selling the gun for. And I figured, well, probably after tax, the shipping, and an FFL dealer, you know, taking their slice, you know, I didn't figure that was too bad. So, you know, and maybe I'm wrong, but, you know, I didn't think that was too bad.
Well, I'm in New York. I'd say that, okay, nowadays, I mean, I've seen some Frankenstein rusted clunkers for $800 around here. So, you know, and they're neutered on top of that to be New York legal. So, you know, at least Smith and Wesson is a decent brand. You know, obviously people would call me biased or whatever, but and to my knowledge, I'm not sure where they are, but I believe they're covered for life as well. So, might have got a pretty good deal there. So.
Yeah, my understanding from the nomenclature, anyway. You know, I've got my Smith revolver, and it's never done me wrong. But from what I understand from the nomenclature out of the straight out of the book, that everything was. Here comes the ice cream truck again. That yeah, it's covered for life as far as normal wear and tear and springs and stuff like that. From what I've read, so and I put my first 30 through it. Got a Simmons 3x9 by 35 scope on it that my brother had, because the one scope I wanted to run wasn't going to work right on it the way I wanted to, because I had a laser on top of that with a 45-degree cant on it just right off to the side for, you know, anything in close. You know, I'm just playing with it right now. You know, got the scope zeroed, 30 rounds at 100 yards, you know, so it's good to go. And so I'm happy with it so far. I mean, I didn't have any troubles with it on the break-in on the first 30 anyways. So, yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. I've always always heard really good things out of Smith and Wesson, so I guess I just stuck with a name brand. So,
well, you might want to snag a few extra parts if you haven't already, especially with the way things may end up being here shortly, like maybe extractor springs, things like that, little spring kits or anything along those lines. Your O-rings, basically the little shit gas rings, because you can get a lot of that stuff actually ridiculously cheap in most cases. So they actually sell, what is it, boo boo kits or oh no kits, out kits,
called the oops.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can get one of those, that'd be ideal. Just in case for anything in the future, if parts are an issue or something goes on. Not like, it's a clunker and you're going to need it, but, things do happen. It's a mechanical item. So it might not be a bad idea, especially when right now, from my knowledge, you can still get those parts fairly cheap and affordable. Now, yes, it's warranted. If you had a problem, you could send it in, but you probably don't want to part with your gun for a $2.50 O-ring. You know what I mean? So depending on what it is, you can spend, a little bit and then just be covered just in case. And then if you do have any major issues and, everything's fine, you don't mind parting with your only AR, then you can deal with Smith & Wesson. But just so you're aware, if you do have issues, you can call Smith & Wesson. And from my personal experience, just with talking to them, they sent me parts I didn't even need for free and said, you can install them. It's not going to void a warranty or nothing. I didn't need them, so I offered to send them back. They told me to keep them, so I just got those in stock. So usually they're pretty good. As long as, I called up and was honest and didn't claim to be some superstar, blah, blah, blah. And, they treated me well. So I assume if you don't call them like a cocky asshole, that you probably get the same treatment.
Yeah, and you said that was an oops kit, Squib? Or who said that? It's called.
I'm at work. My hands are covered in grease. Okay, so can't get to the mute button. Yeah, it's called an oops with an exclamation point kit, but that's really only good if you're putting one together. An oops kit is no good. I shouldn't say it's not no good. It's not as practical as buying bolt carrier group parts. Anything for the bolt, really, I shouldn't even say bolt carrier group, but the bolt, because you're not going to take the gas port off the top there, the gas key. The bolt parts or a spare bolt, a complete bolt or bolt carrier group, I would put more emphasis on that than an oops kit. An oops kit is if you screw up putting one together. You bought one completely assembled, so you'll probably never take it down to that point where you start losing those little parts. But for the cost of an oops kit, if they've got it wherever you're buying, whatever, just throw it on the order and then you're covered. The oops kit doesn't cover anything on the upper.
Okay, all right, and that's the same thing you were talking about then, New York?
Pretty much. I didn't personally buy a kit. I just sourced a bunch of BCM parts, all different, shit, basically. Anything bolt carrier group associated and things like that, pretty much myself. So just again, I don't have any use for it at this point, and mine is completely covered for life, even if I sell it to you and you sell it to your kid, but still doesn't mean I want to part with it. So,
right,
one
exactly.
other thing you're going to definitely want to get spares of, the damn detent spring that goes underneath the locking plate on the back of the lower receiver, where your buffer tube screws into the receiver there. That spring that's underneath that locking plate, if you're not careful, that some bitch is going to fly out of there and you'll never find it again.
I've never had one fly out ever. I still can't figure out how you guys are losing these things. I have had one bend because the plate got loose.
That was the next thing I was going to say. Was
I've put together a bunch of different ARs, and I've even changed out some of that stuff from stock to things still at a later point. And I still don't figure how the hell people get them to fly. I do not get that.
Oh, I had one fly out. It just I even did the tape trick where you tape the pin where when you're done screwing it, and then you can carefully take the tape off and it doesn't go flying out of there. And the son of a bitch pushed the plate up enough to where it flew out of there. That was the only time I've ever had it happen. If I didn't use that tape trick, it didn't fly out. But yeah, it is. They will fly out if you're not careful. Even sometimes if you are careful. But like Squib was saying, one of the other things you're gonna have to worry about, those things will get bent, and then you'll have a kink in it, and you have to replace it. So make sure you have spares of those on hand too.
Okie dokie. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, this is my second time having one, and the first one I had, I didn't have for very long because kids, and so I finally just got enough money stashed up where I felt comfortable to have one, and not feel like putting anything out on any of my bills or anything. So I said, yep, now's just the time to get one and just to have one on the hand, I guess, right or wrong, So. One thing I do know for sure is that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there, Ed. The stuff I was mentioning. I think most of those springs and stuff. I mean, it was all like under $30 with shipping and everything. So it's fairly cheap. I think I ordered it from Primary Arms. Most of the stuff, if I remember correctly. And I ordered like duplicates of things as well in some cases. So a lot of it wasn't very expensive. If you want to do a bolt, like, replacement bolt, I guess you would call it, I've seen those for $60 that are, mil spec per state. So sure, people may say, that might be junk, get a better one or whatever, but it's a replacement on the fly if need be. Even though with certain springs, with certain things, you'll be able to basically rebuild what you have anyway. But, a backup isn't a bad idea.
Pat, if you don't want to...
Sorry, go ahead, Squid.
I was going to say, if you got 16 minutes of your life that you are okay with never getting back, I just sent you a link to a video to show you what parts are probably most practical to keep as spares.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Squibby.
Don't thank me. You might fall asleep halfway through the video.
Nah, I'm used to long, boring things, so it's fine.
That's what she said.
But yeah, I just.
Long.
Now, Outcast, do you keep spare parts for other guns as well?
I do. I try to keep spares for everything if I can. I can't afford to, and I haven't always found a reason to get spares or come across to certain things. But I have parts for in a sense my full size M&P. Parts for a couple other rifles, 22s, parts for the AR. So it's just, to me, just good rule of thumb. But I'm not necessarily a collector or this or that. I got into firearms as more of like a self-defense protection, one day if need be, defense, I guess, more of a type of thing. So all my purchases over the years have kind of been geared that way. That's why I'm, locked into a few calibers, which are all basically NATO calibers. And I don't have enough money to float around and have fun with every new thing that comes out. So yeah, that's been my way of going, is to try to keep spares, try to label stuff, put it away. So it need be, I could keep things going for an amount of time without extra stuff,
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Squib.
Well, I was just going to say, it's good to hear somebody else out there say that they keep spare parts. I think it's a good idea. For gun stuff, it doesn't take up a lot of space. It really doesn't. And as long as you, like you were saying, label it, you've got a cataloging system where you know what's what. or especially if you've had something fail or you've lost something during a field trip and cleaning, and you said, man, it might help if these things were 50 cents each. It might help if I had a couple of these. I've found over the years that it comes in really handy, and it's not really that expensive. In some cases, you can throw spare parts on with an order. Say you're buying from Brownells or Midway or something like that. You could buy parts while you're online buying ammo or reload supplies or cleaning kits or whatever, and just throw it on the order, and you don't even notice it.
Yeah, I keep extra parts for most all my handguns, mostly Berettas and 1911s, but I keep all kinds of small parts. I keep all my parts that I replace, but I have a little Tupperware just full of recoil springs. I keep them fairly fresh. 1,000 rounds or so. I like to just put new springs in stuff, except for like trigger springs or hammer springs. I want a broke-in trigger, but most definitely my recoil springs. I'll just, when they're around 1,000 rounds or so, I ditch and put in fresh springs. I mean, at the most, they're all $5 a piece, man.
See, I've never had to use any of my parts. Like, I don't think ever. But that's not the point. I got them if I need them. The only thing I've needed is this AR. In a sense, I bought it. It was used. It's what I could find at the time, and it was missing the rubber O-ring on the
extractor.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. That goes around the spring. So I tried to figure out, maybe that brand didn't come with one. Although that seems weird, but come to find out it did, and so it must have been, it popped off, broke off, previous owner screwed up something. So I ended up installing that, even though it ran fine without it. But that might have damaged the spring as well, so I got extra spring just in case too. But it's still running great. So, but again, I don't want to be hung up later because of a $2 spring and a 50-cent O-ring. That's just, to me, that's just ridiculous. So I'm just gonna, and because it is that cheap, well, I might as well just buy a couple. So that way it's done. Worst come to worst, I can hand it out to you if you need it. So you know what I mean. That's just, to me, it's cheap enough to good business. So just smart. I guess I've dealt with mechanical stuff in the past where I've had to drive 2-3 hours to go get a little key for a shaft or whatever. And then you come back and screw up when you pop it on and shear it off and got to go drive another 2 hours. You just buy a couple of those things. They're like 50 cents a dollar. Don't mess around. It's not worth it. Just buy a few.
Right. Yeah. And I keep extra parts for all my other guns on hand. And, I kind of screwed up and didn't even think about seeing if they had any of the extra springs or stuff like that
saw a couple of those ones
typically go along with an AR just as replacement parts, per se. So because like everything from my Henry down to my Mosins to my 9mm carbine, the old High Point, I keep extra springs and firing pins and stuff like that, especially after this last go around with my High Point. It was the first gen High Point, and I didn't know it at the time, but the firing pin spring was known to snap in half on the first gens. And I just called the company up, and they said, I asked them, I said, I can do it myself. Can you just send me out the parts? Oh, not a problem. They didn't even bat an eye or anything and sent me out a new firing pin, and it's got a new firing pin spring setup where it's actually got 2 in it. And they actually sent me a double batch on that just in case I have problems. But everything from what I've read off the internet, once they improved the firing pin and the firing pin springs, that they hadn't had any trouble with them after that. So yeah, I really need to get on the stick here and do like what you guys were saying, and get a couple little extra parts that are kind of known or maybe have problems with in the future to just have those on stock on hand that I can just wrap up and kind of cubby away. So that's kind of half the reason I was on here tonight, because I know you guys have messed with some of the panels messed with ARs more than I have. So so it's always helpful to have a little insight.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, it's smart. Just and it's cheap. That's the thing about it. And even if you get a replacement bolt, if you don't go all out or whatever, I mean, you can basically drop $100 with shipping and have everything you may need for just about anything. So it's not, it's not a good night. Not a bad thing to have. And again, you might need maybe help a friend out with it or something. So.
Yeah. Well, you guys were talking about gun parts. I was looking at this article that just was posted over on my, the homepage, and when I open up my browser, and again, it's from Daily Caller. They're saying this story was put out about the time we went live. It's stating that Joe Biden has hired at least 14 current or former executives from Apple, Google, Amazon, Twitter, and Facebook to either be in his administration or work on his transition team.
Not surprised.
Oh, well, hell, that's convenient.
Isn't it, though?
Well, it was going to be, but Deb changed her plans.
Is it the Mac and Cheese podcast again?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
How many people did you say, Rich?
14. Different people, including working in the, let's see, what did they say? Spokesperson for the National Security Council, and let's see, what else was there? I can't remember. Yeah, that's a Twitter executive is going to be working as chief spokesperson for the National Security Council. Apple's top lobbyist is going to be one of the chief advisors to Biden's transition team. A Facebook executive will serve as staff director in the Biden White House. And there's some other ones that they're not saying exactly what positions they're going to have, but they're going to be working closely with Biden in the White House and on his transition into the White House.
Mm-hmm. Well, he didn't hire them. He was told to hire them.
It's just interesting with all the stuff going on with Parler and the banning of Trump from the platforms. All these companies are involved in the Biden administration, which hasn't even gotten into the White House yet in some form or another.
Quite a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then if I ever hear Biden say anything, can't I sue him? Because I didn't choose to hear his words.
Yeah, I'm not a lawmaker or a lawyer per se, but I don't know how that works. But I know there are a couple people that I like to accuse of brain rape. That's for damn sure.
Well, no doubt.
That's sad, buddy.
Hey, Rich, it's halftime. Things are looking good.
Not really.
Did you get a date before they were raped, or a dinner or anything, Pat?
What's that, Rob?
So did you get a date before you were brain raped, or at least a dinner or anything?
No, the first accusation of brain rape that I would probably put first to mind was probably Justin Bieber, and then 3/4 of the Democratic Party.
I ain't never heard of brain rape, but I heard of ear humping. That way you can hear me coming.
Uh-huh. Mystic wants to know if you watched
That
the
was
movie.
funny.
Rob.
What's that?
Mystic wants to know if you watched the movie. She's wanting that report on her desk right now, I guess.
Oh my God. The world's coming down, and she wants this report now. Where's Snob, damn it? I thought I dealt with this.
What movie were you supposed to watch, New York? I forget.
Brokeback Mountain.
No, Blazing Saddles. No, Rob has never seen Blazing Saddles, apparently.
But Blazing Saddles. And I do want to watch it. I've just been stuck in this news thing lately, so my apologies. I haven't given up. I don't know if maybe I can get Snob to slip her a little something extra and get her off my back for a day or two, but it'd be nice.
Well, as far as Mel Brooks films go, man, I love Blazing Saddles. That is just freaking hilarious.
That's what we're telling him, but he doesn't believe us, and he's never seen it. At least he hasn't gone as far as Kingpin to say it doesn't exist. It's not another Emmett Otter situation.
Because there ain't no hole in the wash tub.
She said, nope, she wants her report. You're in trouble, Rob. You need to get that report in on time.
Rob, you do realize this movie you're going to find offensive.
I don't think I am. I've already seen the free clips available on YouTube, and to be honest, I laughed my ass off. So, I actually want to see it. Yeah, it looks funny to me.
It's an hour and a half of racial slurs, Rob.
Oh God, isn't it?
There is some, but it's funny though. It's done in a manner that is comical to me. I'm sorry. So maybe I'm supposed to be offended, but I think it's decent comedy from what I've seen.
The ones that should be offended by watching that movie are the ones that would talk like the people in the movie talk. Let's be perfectly honest here.
Of course, you have the common decency not to mention to anyone that I spoke to you.
Where the white women at? Oh my God! Yeah, he's
the scene where he's got to pull the gun on himself. Like, don't move, or he's gonna get it. He takes himself off the stage and shit. That's funny. That's good stuff.
Quiet, Harry. You're gonna get the man killed. He's just crazy enough to do it.
Yeah. Baby, you are so good. And they are so
like, don't hurt him. That's a sure way to get him killed. See, I know. I've watched the clips. I'm not lying. Shit was funny, man.
Mongo got deep respect for Sheriff Bart. Sheriff Bart, only man ever whipped Mongo.
Mongo just pawn in Game of Life.
Ding dong.
Mongo straight.
Whoo-wee, that was close. Damn near lost a $300 hand cart.
Candy gram for Mongo. Candy gram for Mongo. Oh, man.
Well, just don't be laying there getting a suntan. You boys get back to work.
To be honest, I think I've seen it in the past, and the thing that visually struck recognition was the ox's ass, where it says yes on one side and no on the other. Like, I just remember seeing that somewhere in the past. So I probably have watched it, but I'm sure it's been quite a while.
Yeah, you had it hard. I had to invent the candygram.
Probably won't even get credit for it.
Yep, definitely a really good movie. It worked for Wendell Scott.
Wendell Scott.
No, Randolph Scott. Jeez, you guys don't even know all the actors.
Oh, yeah.
You do it for Randolph Scott. Randolph Scott.
All right, we'll
Oh,
give
sorry.
up a little
I
land,
watched it.
but we don't want the Irish.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got done watching the Wendell Scott history. So about 2 days ago. So that name was on my mind. Yeah, you're right. It's Randolph Scott.
Remember when we fought this town from Dix?
The executioner at the jail. Could they get anybody more Igor-like if they tried? And he's gonna hang the horse and the rider.
Right. I forget who actually played Mongo. Wasn't that a NFL player from back
Yeah.
in the day?
Yeah, that was what the hell's his name?
Headley.
No, it wasn't Headley.
It's Eddie.
It's Headley.
God damn it! Now I can't. You brought it up, and I can't think of his damn name. But he was the guy on from Webster. You remember the series Webster about the little black kid, the white parent couple that adopted him in the series?
No, I don't. But I thought Mongo was actually an NFL player.
Yeah,
I
he
just
was.
can't remember his name right off the top of my head.
Yeah, he was. It's driving me nuts because now you said
The
something.
guy who played the dad on Webster was an NFL player.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. Was he also in not No Way Out? Oh crap. The Jeff Bridges movie. Phil Collins did the soundtrack.
Against All Odds.
Against All Odds. Wasn't he also in Against All Odds, or am I thinking of somebody else?
God, I don't remember. I remember he was in Victor Victoria with James Gardner and Julie Andrews. He was James Gardner's bodyguard or whatever in that one.
Alex.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alex Karras or something. Yeah, Alex Karras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, how'd I know this? What the hell's wrong with you guys?
See, you're going to ace this book report, Rob.
I should be giving you homework. Damn.
Right, you haven't even seen the full movie, and I already got corrected on one name already.
And what year did he die? How old was he?
It wasn't that long ago.
2012, and he was 77 years old.
They buried him at Rock Ridge.
Right next to his ox. Or is that Paul Bunyan?
What other movies did he play in? Where's Mystic out there? Tell her to name 5 movies he played in without Googling it.
Shit, I can name one.
Oh, he was in that one movie that I'll never forget.
You know, they're in Blazing Saddles.
Porky's?
Was he in Porky's?
Yeah. Yep. Webster, Blazing Saddles, Porky's, Against All Odds.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah, Victor Victoria.
Paper Lion. Monday Night Football.
Well, that's not a movie.
I don't know if that's a movie or what. All right. Buffalo 66.
Was he in Airplane 77?
Hmm.
You mean Airport
Babe, when
77
time ran out.
Yes, Airport 77.
with that
Nobody
Kennedy guy?
heard
What
you.
was his name?
George.
George.
George Kennedy.
I'm not seeing it. That looks like he was in a lot of damn movies.
Give me 5 movies George Kennedy was in.
Cool Hand Luke. Naked Gun.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot.
Oh yeah.
Dirty Dozen.
He was in a good Western. I forget the name,
He's
but
in
he
a
was
few westerns.
July Johnson in the Western.
Yeah, that was
The Naked Gun.
It was Frank Sinatra.
Naked
30
Gun 2
Minutes
and a
to
half.
Pee.
Airport 1975. The Naked Gun 33 and a third. Guns of the Magnificent.
Oh, that's true.
Delta Force.
Yep, he was the priest in that.
That's right. Why is he on a plane so much?
Concord Airport. Airport.
Frequent flyer mouth, Squib.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Earthquake. The Dirty Dozen.
Yep, The Dirty Dozen.
Cahill, U.S. Marshal.
My goodness, it goes on and on. Who's this guy, 100 years old?
And he was in all kinds of old TV shows, too.
Dallas J.R. Returns.
Who shot JR?
Everybody knows that from the song. It was his
Scarlet Jacket, 1964.
Didn't Sue Ellen
Small
shoot JR?
Soldiers.
Yeah, sister-in-law.
Dennis the Menace.
No, Sue Ellen was his wife.
No, it was his sister-in-law that shot him.
It's Texas. Your sister-in-law can be your wife.
No, that's Alabama.
I heard Uncle Daddy's a thing too now.
I thought it was Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah, it's Arkansas. Come on.
That's a little too close to home, fellas.
Just because they can't pronounce English right, you know.
Can't remember where it was, but they just made it legal so you can marry your own kid now. I thought it was crazy. I mean, it must have been for Pakistan, one of them damn places. I mean, that's on the mind today, but you know,
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
If you look on the weird laws, if you look on one of those weird law sites that has all the goofy laws around the country, Alabama, unless they've changed it recently, it was legal to marry your sibling.
Thought that was Utah.
But those towns were pretty small.
Patriot in the Dark says Von Ryan Express too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another Frank Sinatra movie.
Was he in Cannonball Run too?
He might have been.
Oh, there's so many people in them Cannonball movies that he very well could have been.
Yeah, he might have been. Sinatra was. I know Sinatra was.
Yeah, we got royalty in this country too.
Yeah.
You know, people kept standing out on the highways. I think Cannonball Run's a perfect way to deal with it.
Okay, so since we're on that little theme, what's better, Gumball Rally or Cannonball Run?
Cannonball Run has Farrah Fawcett. Enough said.
I don't know what the gumball really is, but
Yeah.
I like extra points for certain
Oh.
things in Cannonball Run.
Death Race 2000.
Hey, look, Cannonball Run. You had Jackie Chan and Jaws in the same damn car.
That little thing, man. It was like
Yeah, little Mitsubishi.
making all that noise and shit.
Little Subaru, little Mitsubishi, little something it was.
Yeah, the little Mitsubishi.
You remember the Sheik? Like, I'll be back for you.
Yeah, Klinger.
Yeah. How dare you point that gun at me? So, as I was saying.
I don't know, but I remember Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, and that had the chick from Dukes of Hazzard in it too.
Yeah, Daisy. I think she was in the second one, right?
Yeah, second one. Yep, you're right. Yeah, Catherine Bach. That's who I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Which one was it where you had
It was a good movie.
the chick from Swamp Thing, whose name I cannot remember right now, and the
Heather
blonde?
Locklear.
No, what?
Adrienne Barbeau.
Yeah, her. But had her
Jason knows them all.
blonde-haired chick driving around in the Lamborghini, and they get pulled over by the cop, and she zips down her zipper.
Dumb and Dumber.
And it's a female cop, and she's like, "Oh shit!"
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I think that wasn't Heather Locklear. It was her and Susan Anton in the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Coutage or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Those outfits were just, ugh. I don't know. I know I see the image they were putting out, but that fake metallic stuff, I don't know.
Those were all leather bodysuits, man. What are you talking about?
Hell yeah. And the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Dude.
Man,
if they told me you got to pull over one of those a day, I'd want to be a cop.
I'll tell you what, I would take Halle Berry and Catwoman rolling up in a Honda over that any day.
Yeah, I'll debate that. Halle Berry's still, pretty hot in the Catwoman suit. Yeah, I'd go for that. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but with the black Lamborghini, you get two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I
can see both sides.
Apparently, you didn't see their equipment.
Apparently not.
Shit, I'd take Daisy Duke in a damn snowsuit if that's how it had to come.
Giggity.
Giggity, giggity. Giggity goo.
So, crazy point in history, folks. Crazy point in history.
Well, Cannonball Run?
Where we sit today.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm driving home. Traffic seems to be normal. There's no fires. There's no roadblocks. I don't see any martial law. The power still works. The internet still works.
Just get Commander Chaos on the scene. He'll fix everything.
Captain Chaos.
Yeah, is it Captain or Commander? I can never remember.
Captain Chaos.
Captain Chaos.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, either way, when you look at it, I mean, it's a hell of a time in history. Everything that's going on, the elections, all this stuff. I mean, the turmoil, the fact that people are, pinned against each other, the country's divided, everything's up in the air. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Everybody's pissed off right now. It's a hell of a time. Except for those comfortably numb people, which, in some cases, ignorance is bliss. So you almost envy them.
Yeah, but getting back to Cannonball Run, Roger Moore in the second one with his Bond car at the end of the movie getting ejected into the bay. That was funny.
Remember Terry Bradshaw?
That was the first one.
No, that was the second. I thought that was the second one.
No, he got ejected. He was in the first one.
The second one? Okay. The first one? Okay.
Yeah, that was the first one.
There's so many
Where he tells
people in
him to
those
push the
damn
cigar
movies.
lighter, and that'll trigger the
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, there's so many damn people in those damn movies. It's hard to keep track of who was in the first one and who was in the damn second one.
Remember they asked him, "You're not going to turn your headlights on?" He was like, "Why advertise?"
Yeah.
Remember had Terry Bradshaw and Mel Tillis driving that NASCAR?
Yeah.
We were
Tropicana
just
Thunder.
Tropicana, yeah.
looking for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to bitch about getting tickets for blinkers. She'd argue and say it's nobody's business where she's going. True story.
Another good movie along that time period was Hooper. Remember Hooper? About the stuntman?
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
Jan Michael Vincent, Burt Reynolds.
There is going to be no federal reserve. There's going to
And
be.
actually,
I remember
go ahead,
Hooper
Swin.
from Jaws. Hooper!
Mm-hmm.
Remember the boys drank like 50 beers and had the beer cans sitting on top like the picnic table and that cop rolled up.
I've never done a garden.
Oh, we're not going to drive. My mom's coming to pick us up. Your mom, right? Yeah, she's coming to pick us up. Okay, then.
Another good one from that time period was 1941.
Oh, yes, that was a good movie.
Ned Beatty's wife in that movie, you had to feel sorry for that woman.
Slim Pickens got captured by the Japanese on the sub.
Yeah.
And their compass was broke, and he had like a compass from like a Cracker Jack pack.
Uh-huh. Trying to navigate by that, yeah. Remember the scene where the chick's skinny dipping in the ocean and then submarine surfaces right underneath her and she ends up on the periscope mast?
That was pretty good. Dude had that like anti-aircraft cannon out there at his house, and he swung the wrong way. It was shooting holes right through his own house.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with Ned. That was Ned Beatty's character, man. You had to feel bad for his wife. He's just putting holes all through their house. Oh, man.
But John Belushi saved us all.
Oh man, Warren Oates being the crazy commander at the airfield, shooting anti-aircraft guns at absolutely nothing.
Yeah, shoot out those lights.
But that really happened, though.
Yeah.
The Battle of Los Angeles.
The Battle of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Not the album, but the event.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because weren't they supposedly firing on Japanese subs that were off the coast too, if I remember right?
Mm-hmm.
They never shot back at them. They didn't know they were there. The Japanese subs that were off the coast in December of 1941 did very little damage to California and Oregon, and I don't think it was public knowledge about them until later on. If it was, it would have probably made a lot more people paranoid. Of course, they were paranoid enough to shoot at clouds over Los Angeles. So,
you mean
and a lot of people didn't know that they came back to Pearl Harbor a year later to bomb it and missed. There's all kinds of stuff that kind of didn't come out. They knew about the subs in the Pearl Harbor attack in 1941, but it still wasn't public. It wasn't widely known. It wasn't hidden. It just wasn't widely known for a long time.
I think they kept that quiet intentionally in order not to panic people that they were that close in so many places. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I think Twitter blocked it.
Well, an old form of it, I guess you could say, but
yeah. Well, what movie was it that Robert Stack's character of the general was going to watch, and he didn't want anybody disturbing him until he was done watching it? Was that Dumbo that he went to watch? And they show him in the theater crying during the movie.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what movie that is.
I think it was Dumbo that his character was watching. I think it was the scene where Dumbo's being rocked on his mother's trunk, or right after his mother was killed, or something along those lines, and he's sitting there in the theater just crying his eyes out.
Hey, everybody needs a break.
Oh, but it was done to be comedy. I mean, it was funny, and he's just sitting there crying his eyes out. And he told anybody that it bothered him while he was watching the movie that they were going to be court-martialed before he went into the theater to watch it.
No, but I remember him as the airport controller in Airplane. That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah. One of them, anyway. He was one of those people. Yeah. Him and Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah.
I picked the wrong day to quit amphetamines.
No, I picked the wrong day to quit huffing glue.
Yeah, Robert Stack was the one he took off his glasses and he had another pair of glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the one where the guy's eyes are both going different directions looking at the screen.
You're thinking of Hot Shots.
I think that's Walleye on Hot Shots, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They did some kind of joke, I thought, like that in Airplane, too. Maybe not.
Oh, they did?
I think it was the same people, so they...
What are you
They
mad at
did
me
both
for?
movies.
He ate your father. He was delicious.
Told you guys I got stopped at a roadblock with an officer like that once, right?
Okay, now I got to hear
He
a
was-
story.
Yeah, he was
Go
called
for it.
Cross-Eyed Junior. He looked every which way.
No, I'm serious, man. I thought I said it on one of these shows, but yeah, I rolled up and it was messed up because my inspection was bad too. So I didn't even think of it until I rolled up to the thing and I looked and I was like, oh shit, I'm done. Yeah, I could have tried to go the other way or something, but the way it is around here, they expect you to do that, and half the time they leave a pull off before the stop, and then they only stop the people that take that pull off because they're like, oh, what are you running for? So basically, I rolled up, and no joke, man, I didn't know which way to look at this guy. And I mean no disrespect against anybody with disabilities, but god damn, it was confusing as hell. And you're trying not to be disrespectful, but where do I look at you? You know what I mean? Like, no shit, both eyes are just kind of spinning. And I'm looking around and I'm like, damn, this dude's got a gun and like he drove here. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
What's wrong with you?
I'm
How
like,
can you look at me
is
when
this
I'm
real? Like, no, he got me for my inspection. He was like, reason your inspection's out? And I was like, oh, being a dumbass count? And he laughed. He's like, nope. His eyes are all over. And he gave me the ticket. So, I ended up having to pay, I think, $100 fine and then had to pay my $21 to get an inspection. So it sucked. But, it was my own damn fault. So I just let it slip. And, it's New York. They ain't going to let you get away with it. So, but I thought it was definitely stressful trying to, not be a problem, be respectful, look the guy in the eye. You can't look him in the eye. You'd have to pick one and follow it.
Well, yeah, you can look him in
That's
the
just
eye.
a little weird.
You just got to pick which one you're going to look him in.
I'm telling you, man. That's just a little weird. The dude's, an armed guy there with his eyes just buzzing all over. And I assume he drives. I don't know. So,
should have told him you don't see that
like I
happen.
said, no disrespect, but I was a little in shock.
Would you say, Jason, they weren't seeing eye to eye?
Yeah, apparently you and I ain't seeing things the same.
Yeah, you could say that. The guy was cool and everything. Don't get me wrong. He still gave me the ticket, but that's his damn job. But like I said, it just made it difficult to have a decent interaction with him without me looking like an asshole.
Let's see if we can figure this out.
if there's a cop got somebody pulled over ahead, I'm going to slow down and take a look at him in the face.
I just ran out of fuel. You're looking good. I just lost a wing. Level out a little bit. Lost the other wing. Final approach. Wham!
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he had some type of medical thing, and they're just getting him through his last 6 months or something. I don't know how that works, or maybe for some
No,
reason he still
you don't end
can
up cockeyed.
see
You're
and
born that way,
drive
man.
fine.
He's
Hey,
been
I
that
don't
way his
know.
whole life.
Like
So
I
he's
said, I'm not
So what really
I'm not
happened,
trying to be. Maybe he can shoot better than me. I don't freaking know.
what
I'd
really
love
happened,
to know because it blows my freaking mind. But
what really happened here is Rob was being punked and he was pulled over by Marty Feldman and nobody told him.
well, I was wondering that. No lie. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. But I'm not going to be a straight, jerk. But no, the ticket was real. I ended up paying that thing.
Life's strange, man. You fall down a well, you end up cross-eyed. You get kicked in the head by a horse, back to normal. Who knew? Isn't that what happened to
I
Eddie's
don't know.
daughter at vacation?
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember.
One of the National Lampoons. Yeah.
Yeah, the Christmas vacation. He's like,
Yep.
oh my God, she's not cross-eyed anymore. He's like, yeah, damnedest thing. Got kicked in the head by a horse. Psh, who knew?
And Midnight sent his links out, so we're gonna have to start wrapping this on up. It's been an interesting show. Covered some interesting topics. I think some more serious than others, but it's the way it goes on this show. You never know what the hell we're going to talk about. So anyway, Rob, got anything you want to leave the people out there with? Plugs, words of wisdom, anything like that?
If anybody's interested and haven't seen them, I got some videos of that rally there in DC. So check them out if you're interested. Other than that, don't give up hope yet. Have faith in America, people. And thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.
Right on. What about you, Jason?
Good to see everybody, man. Good conversation. Thanks for the invite. I'm not sure when I do a show. I'm going to be busy tomorrow night, but maybe Thursday. Maybe we'll just see how the world goes. But it's good to see everybody again, and let's hope Trump can be the comeback kid all time.
Alrighty. Squibby, anything you want to get out there real quick?
I don't understand what half of the show was about, but the other half I found entertaining. I appreciate the invite. Thanks for helping me get through my whopping 3-hour Sunday night shift. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And finally, Pat, anything you want to say?
Just as always, thanks for having me on tonight. And just like New York said, keep the faith. Hopefully everything will hopefully hang together. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I have a feeling the next couple weeks are definitely going to be really interesting, to say the least. And me and Squib kind of had a little conversation on New York's deal, and hopefully we can all stay linked together and be able to keep in touch if need be, if this all goes to hell. So, but yeah, just go out there and check out everybody's sites and check out their videos and everything. Give them a like, share, subscribe, and yeah, just thanks again for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Real quick, Patriot says, Rob, It was a setup. He just wanted to pull you out and tase you.
I don't know what that's in reference to, but I'll
You and
keep
the
an eye
cop.
out.
Yeah, you and the goofy-eyed cop.
Oh, that would be Patriot. They really would. But if that's the case, I was polite and didn't play into it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't shoot you in the back 7 times.
I think staying still would have been the best thing I could have done.
Yeah, he stood still and he never saw you.
Yeah, where'd he go? Yeah, you get right in front of it, man. He'd be like, "Where'd he go? Where'd he go?"
It's funny, but it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure he had a good eye for things.
Yeah, he was able to keep an eye on everything.
Kind
The
of
whole surroundings.
right, and the way it sounds, it kind of reminds me of a deer or a cow or a horse because they don't actually see 100% straight in front of them. They're more like a piece of meat out there. They got to have that kind of field of vision behind them. So
what you're trying to say is they don't have binocular vision.
no, he's definitely not a predator.
Anyway, on that note, we will bid you all adieu, and we will see you next week. Have a good night, folks.
Good night,
Stay safe.
everybody.
Carry your weapon.
Go Bucks.
Illegitimate don't belong in the playoffs.
Good night, Felicia.
All right, how do I stop this stupid thing?